Welcome back to the Delaware Way. If you own a dog, there are new licensing fees you need to know about. They're in effect right now. To talk more about that is Interim Director Christine Motoyoshi of the Office of Animal Welfare. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure, glad to be here.
So explain the fees.
Sure. Well, the fees right now for Delaware dog licensing are $10 for a dog that's spayed or neutered, or $15 for a dog who is not. We have just implemented some changes that we're excited about that's going to make it cheaper for senior citizens. So now anyone who has a spayed or neuter pet and they're age 65 or older, it's a 30% discount and it's only $7.
And you're potentially making it cheaper for everybody because now the length of time could be extended depending on when you buy it.
Exactly. It used to be licenses were based on a calendar year. So if you adopted a dog, it's say in October, you would be renewing that license in January, so it would only be good for 3 months. Now a license is good for 12 months from the date of purchase, which should be beneficial to everyone.
But you have to get a license every year?
You can get a 2 or 3 year license if your rabies vaccination is valid into that 2nd and 3rd year. But it is something that a dog has to have at all times.
But a 2 or 3 year license, does that cost more?
It does not cost more. So if you have a spayed or neuter pet, it's $20 for a 2-year license and $30 for a 3-year license. So if you're able to do that, it's certainly beneficial because you don't have to worry about licensing every year. The only thing you need to make sure of is that your rabies vaccination is valid into that 2nd or 3rd year.
And if your dog is found without a license, what happens?
You can be fined for failure to license your dog. So it's $50 fine initially, plus court costs, so it's upwards of $80. So we certainly encourage people to license their pets. It's much cheaper than having to pay the fine.
If I have a little dog that's inside all the time, I don't need to get a license?
Nope, you need to get a license. It is required by law for any dog
You're never going to catch them.
Any dog that's 6 months of age or older, but people think it's not going to happen to them. It happens all the time. We pick up over 4,000 stray dogs per year, and your gate could get blown open. You could be walking your dog and it slips its leash. It happens to everyone, so it's really important to make sure your dog is licensed so that you don't get that fine, but also more importantly, it's a free ticket home for your dog. If one of our animal welfare officers picks up your dog, it has the tag, we can immediately identify who it belongs to and take it to your doorstep and return it home, which is much easier and less stressful than if the dog has to go to a shelter.
But that can't be the only reason, because I could put a tag on my dog and people could find its way home that way. There has to be. Why do we have licenses? Why are we required to pay for these licenses?
The licensing fees help support the animal control function, which is a vital public service. So in a small part, these fees help fund picking up stray animals and caring for those animals, as well as enhancing public safety when it comes to dogs.
And when you pick up an animal and it doesn't have a license and it has, what happens?
Well, if it has a microchip, we do scan them for a microchip. But if it doesn't have a license, it's going to go to our shelter partner, which is Brandywine Valley SPCA, and they're going to care for that dog. They have to hold that dog for a minimum of 3 days for the owner to be reunited with that pet. So hopefully they will find the animal, they'll locate it, they'll be reunited. It's just going to take longer, and that's certainly stressful for everyone involved.
What is there seems to be a partnership, right? There's a state function and then there's a private function that's funded, and you all work together.
Correct.
Explain the budget on that.
Sure. So the Office of Animal Welfare is responsible for the animal control and animal cruelty enforcement piece. We have a vendor, Brandywine Valley SPCA, who provides the sheltering piece. So our officers are trained individuals. They'll go out, they'll enforce the law as it relates to dogs at large, animal cruelty, aggressive dogs, dog bites. They'll enforce the law piece of it, but they'll take any animals that are picked up to the Brandywine Valley SPCA for care, because that's what they specialize in, and the law enforcement is where we specialize. So it's a great partnership. It's been in place now for a little over a year, and it's worked out fabulously. Now
you have a brand new budget that's been given by Governor Markell as he's leaving office, with cuts just about everywhere. Are you going to be affected?
We don't know yet if we'll be affected. We hope not. Most of our funding comes through the counties and the city of Wilmington, who previously funded animal control, and it is a vital public service. It has to be done. So we hope that we won't see cuts. And in addition to running animal control, we have several other programs that we're able to provide the public as well.
And are you so you are the first line of defense. So if I find a dog, or if there's a dog in my area that is barking at my kids or something like that,
Right.
you're the first line of defense.
Exactly.
Even if I were to call police, they call you?
Correct, correct. We're the ones that are going to be called if there's an animal at large or a public safety issue with an aggressive animal.
Is it just dogs and cats, or is it?
It's primarily dogs and cats with the exception of animal cruelty. So if any animal is being mistreated or abused, we will investigate that. And
So that bear that came through town, that was wildlife, right? You don't.
we don't do wildlife, that's correct.
right.
And primarily agricultural animals obviously are handled by the Department of Agriculture. But if there's a horse or a goat or a rabbit or something that's being mistreated, we will investigate
Any
that as well.
domesticated animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thanks for having me
I appreciate
on.
you being
Appreciate
in.
it.
Interim Director Christine Motoyoshi of the Office of Animal Welfare. When we come back, making dreams come true for the homeless when the Delaware Way continues.